Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. Welcome to our Saturday presentation and training for Up to Give. My name is Brandon Ivy from Los Angeles, California, and we are going to, since this is Saturday, we go into a lot more detail than we do our presentations during the week. So sit back, I'm relaxed, more relaxed, I take my time and go into a little bit more detail on certain aspects of what this program is all about and how you can be a part of it. And then at the end, I have some notes that were given to me that corporate is allowing me to say, and I got to stay on script. Now, I don't work good with scripts. I like go off the cuff, but I can stick my foot in my mouth. So I got to go on script. So that's going to be at the end. As a disclaimer, I'm not the CEO of the company. I'm not a co-owner of the company. I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I am one of you. I got a phone call a couple of months ago, said, Brandon, we are about to go into pre-launch of a company that is positioned in your field of expertise, which is blockchain and cryptocurrency. Our focus is going to be on education, philanthropy, and charity. And when I first signed up, I didn't fully understand it because they got a model of let's be different. And they definitely were doing things different. In my 21-year career, I have not seen anything like this before. So first, let's talk about the vision of the company. At Up to Give, we have a strong, moral, integral, and purpose-driven vision to change lives around the world through our ecosystem. We're standing on 4 pillars. The first is philanthropy. We are focused on creating a culture of worldwide giving. The second is education. Reward those who give while teaching them the value behind growing personally. The third is banking. Bank the unbanked through our giving. And the fourth is personal causes. Create a social revolution of stories with people whose needs have been met through the Up to Give community. You see, we have built a model where people from around the world can come together, get educated and banked and skilled on the principles of philanthropy and EQ, emotional intelligence, while creating a culture of global giving. During the education process, we will be teaching members how to utilize one of our tools for giving called the Giving Box. This will allow us to fulfill the purpose of our core principles, as well as help contribute to the stories being shared in our community to engage the social revolution part of our culture. So how does someone get educated in our ecosystem? Well, we partnered with a company called Success Training Institute. This is an institute that offers cutting-edge soft skills training through audio and video format with videos anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes long. So you have skills that you can improve on in less than 10 minutes per day for like leadership, customer service, professional development, personal development, sales, team building, HR management, management training, and much, much more. Additional training courses to follow that you can actually get certified in on skills that can help you improve your brand, self-discipline, goal setting, time management, conflict resolution. One thing that we have to experience, overcoming adversity. I am really amazed by so many people that don't know how to overcome adversity. In fact, they don't even see adversity as a learning experience. They see it as like almost like a hindrance. And yeah, while it may be inconvenient, adversity is what helps you grow. It's what helps you learn. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that at the end. Maintaining focus. How about having empathy? That is another thing that a lot of people lack. They lack empathy, the ability to be able to understand others and other situations. Most people can only see things through their own eyes and see the world through their own experiences. That's why reading is so fundamental. You know what reading allows you to do? Puts you into the head of different authors, of different characters, so that you're able to see different perspectives outside of your own. Unfortunately, most people don't read. And then here's one skill that I found that the next generation is lacking severely. And I mean the social revolution generation, the social media generation, is social skills mastery. I could see kids walking down the street, a couple holding hands, yet both of them have a phone in their hands and they're not talking to each other. They're in their phone. You go to dinner and nobody's talking to each other. They're still on their phone in front of each other. You go to an airport, everybody's on a device. Nobody is socializing with each other. It's a skill set that is quickly diminishing. And one of the main advantages of Success Training Institute is that it is teaching soft skills that is not taught at school. I was fortunate enough to learn it from my parents. But this next generation of kids is going to grow up not knowing these skills, and therefore they're not going to be able to teach it to their own children. Success leaves clues. The value of this, and I'm not easily impressed, but I am impressed with Success Training Institute, is priceless. Now let's talk about some examples that we want to stand on. Education. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development found that 50% of U.S. adults can't read a book written at an 8th grade level. There you go. Lack of formal education results in lower earning power and serious threats to an individual's long-term well-being. What about banking? We have close to 2 billion people around the world that don't have access to a bank account. And if you don't have access to banking, you don't have access to being able to have a savings, a checking account, the ability to establish credit, the ability to get a personal or a business loan to start business so that you can build wealth and pass down through your families. You're out of the financial system. You want to help to tackle that. With health, currently nearly 1 billion people spend 10% of their household income or more on health expenses for themselves, a sick child, or another family member. The report argues that we have about 3.8 billion people around the globe that lack access to basic health care. And what is the biggest scare that's going around right now? Coronavirus. Coronavirus is not just hitting one country, it is hitting the entire globe. Every single continent is impacted except Antarctica. We have never seen this in our lifetimes. Bigger than Ebola, bigger than SARS. You go to Japan and they shut down all schools for a month. You go to North Korea, you get shot if you even thought that you have the disease. The Iranian vice president was just diagnosed with it. They say that the Pope may even be diagnosed with it. Quarantine, stock market, you can call it a stock market crash, the biggest point loss in history this past week. And we have a lot of people out there that still don't even have basic health care. Imagine the medical costs. But this is going to be a global thing. What about housing? Currently, over 850 million people, more than the populations of the U.S. and European Union combined, are living in informal settlements. You know, you come to L.A. County, you need to be making at least $200,000 a year to be considered middle class and happy and not live in a shack. $200,000 a year. You go to Vegas, you realize there are thousands of homeless that are living underneath the strip, in the washways, in the tunnels. This is a global crisis. So what is our ultimate goal? It's simply to empower you and people around the world to contribute toward anyone's cause in our ecosystem, whether it is to help achieve a goal that helps someone in your family, your church, your country, your community. It really doesn't matter how big or small that vision or mission is. We will bring the nations together to help support those causes, and with our model being a model of philanthropy, we are confident that the Up to Give family will be there for you. Up to Give is a global correlation movement. So how does someone get started? Well, you're going to get back to whoever invited you here, and you're going to set up an account. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to upload your Bitcoin wallet. Yeah, everything we do is in Bitcoin. Why? Because that is the future. Bitcoin is the best performing asset of the past decade. Whether you like it or not, understand it or not, or believe it or not, this is the future. Blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today, period. So we're positioning ourselves for the future. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to share your story. Now, what does that mean? You know, I said earlier that success leaves clues. And you know, one of those soft skills is sharing your story. My mentors used to tell me, said, Brandon, your success is not dependent on the company, it's not dependent on the product, it's not dependent on the compensation plan. Your success is going to be dependent on your ability to share your story with the most amount of people. What are you passionate about? Why are you doing what you're doing? You see, Up to Give is just a platform that allows individuals from around the world to come to write up and share a cause that they want to champion, a cause that they need a little help with, a cause that the community can join in and make it become a reality. So let's talk about the sign-up process and experience. Let's say you're Maria in California. She shares her link with John, and John is in London. The moment John clicks on her link, the first thing he will see is her story. Once John reads her story, at the end of the message, a pop-up saying, "John, would you like to be part of Maria's journey? Click here." Once John has clicked to join, the system will take him to the registration page where he can add his basic information. Let's talk about John's experience. John now has 15 days free in the community. Now, what does that actually mean? John has the opportunity to experience our back office and ecosystem. John could take the sample courses we have available in our Up to Give Academy. John has enough time to decide to become a member or simply contribute to Maria's cause. Now let's assume that John decides to join Maria's journey. John has before the 15th day midnight to pay a $32 member fee, and it's all in Bitcoin for the activation of his education program at the Up to Give Academy. He's going to be able to create his cause. He'll be given a user link that he can share it. And the moment he contributes to the Up to Give causes during that same period of time, he becomes a ground zero member of the Giving Box. So how does the contributing work? Well, John contributes to Up to Give causes 0.005 Bitcoin, and he follows all the steps. And like Maria, he's going to share his story. He shares his story with two individuals, Jorge and Rita. They both love what Up to Give is all about. They join for $32. They create their own cause, and they contribute 0.005 each to Up to Give community. Now, here's what John receives. John's going to receive 0.01 Bitcoin from 16 different contributors in Up to Give. Now, for translation's sake, for those of you that don't understand Bitcoin, download a conversion app on your phone. If Bitcoin is worth $10,000 a coin, 0.005 is $50. 0.01 is $100. So what is your total cost of getting started? What is your biggest risk? We're talking about less than $100, about 82 bucks. That's your biggest risk. At the end, I'm going to show you what your biggest reward will be if you actually go to work. But John received more than he contributed. That's the point. Now, John could stop at this point, but if he wants to continue contributing and receiving, he will then contribute the 0.01 of a Bitcoin to the people that Up to Give chooses to continue paying it forward to. This is done by system algorithm, which will allow John to start receiving contributions from his level 1 community members. Now, why do we do it that way? Well, Ground Zero is a community structure. And sometimes you might be in a situation where you're like, my cause, I mean, it's good, but it's not as good as some of the other causes I've been reading out there. And how is mine going to get contributions to it? You know, it may not be important to other people, but it's important to me. Well, we make sure that everybody receives a contribution. The entire Ground Zero global community of Up to Give will be structured in one community support line of giving, one under the other, to ensure that everyone receives some form of contribution for their cause. Here's what it looks like. You signed up, you pay your $32, you create your cause, you have access to Success Training Institute now, you contribute 0.005, you're now entered into the Ground Zero. Now, where does that 0.005 go? It goes to support 8 community causes all at once. And anybody that joins Up to Give after your timestamp when you join falls in your organization. Every single one, whether it's from you or anybody in the company around the world. This is why, and I'm going to speak on this a little later, those founding positions is why it's so important. Now, every time someone enters Ground Zero, they are placed into this global community line, and then they make a contribution. Their Ground Zero contribution is then entered into a special algorithm in which it is divided into 8 separate smaller contributions called fractional contributions that go towards 8 community causes in the global line above them. This means that every time someone contributes into Ground Zero, 8 causes above them receive a small amount of the contributions for their cause. In this way, each person benefits 8 others, leveraging the awesome power of our worldwide community to help more people receive support for their causes. All contributions will continue to be made in Bitcoin peer-to-peer as before. Now this is important. This is the magic step right here. Those who share their cause with 2 or more people, everything opens up when you do this. 2 or more people who join up to give and participate by making a ground zero contribution will receive a total of 16 fractional contributions from the global line and be qualified for moving into level 1 of the giving box. Those of you who share your cause with just 1 person, you're going to receive 4 fractional contributions. However, those of you who don't share it with anybody at all, you're still going to receive at least 2 fractional contributions so that everybody's getting at least something. Now, once you leave ground zero, how do you get to level 1? Well, you received a total of 0.01 in contributions after 16. You're now going to contribute all of that back into the ecosystem, and you're now moved to level 1. There's 6 levels you move into. It's going to be based on your 2x6 matrix filling up, meaning if you shared it with 2, they share it with 2. That's a total of 6. Now you're going to receive all those contributions. That's going to equal 0.02. What are you going to do? You're going to contribute half of that right back to the system. You start to see a pattern here. The more you contribute, the more you receive. So each level you're contributing and you're receiving more. I want to just show 3 levels. If you show 2, getting 2, 6 levels deep, and I guess I don't like using that term 3 levels, but your 3rd tier, you have a grand total of 126 people on your team. All of them have contributed 0.005 Bitcoin to people's causes from ground zero, and they'll start moving up through the levels. Do you realize that you're now receiving on level 3 a max of 0.12 Bitcoin? That's around $1,200 a month towards your cause. Now in America, you might not be excited by that, but you should be. Why? Well, I know the facts. The average American makes less than $33,000 a year for a family of 4. The average American doesn't have $1,000 in their savings account. The average American cannot afford a $400 emergency if it were to happen to them today. The average American is living paycheck to paycheck. So if you put your head down and share it with 2 and teach them how to do the same thing, you max out level 3 with just 126 people in your network. Could an extra $1,200 a month towards your cause help anybody out? Absolutely. But if you have a level 3, don't you think you're going to have a level 4, 5, and 6? See, level 4, now we're talking about receiving anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000 a month if you max that out. Now we're talking about a full-time income in the United States. What about the rest of the world? Because we are global. There's countries where the average income monthly is $250 to $500 a month. What do you think $1,200 a month could do for them? Let alone $4,000 to $6,000. But let me talk to the big boys and girls here. Level 6. See, they had to have a level 6 conversation with me to get my attention because I don't touch anything that I cannot do 6 figures in. And they said, Brandon, you maximize this entire plan here. And level 6, you're receiving around $500,000 a month in contributions toward your cause. But that's not what's the most impressive. There's 2 things that's more impressive than that. Well, what can be more impressive than receiving $500,000 a month? How about the fact, number 1, that to do so, you're contributing more than $50,000 a month to charitable causes in the community every single month. I had to sit back and think about that for a second because at the end of the day, people don't care about what you're making. Who are you helping? Being able to say I contribute more than $50,000 a month is huge. The other thing that impressed me was, because the next question I asked was, what are the numbers? How many people in my network would I need to do to complete that? I was shocked when they told me. I was expecting at least 100,000 or more. Now, I've been in this industry for 21 years. Is it possible to receive more than $50,000 or $500,000 a month in any company? Yes, it is. They all have a number attached to it on what you have to do to make that happen. Here, they said less than 10,000 people, 8,190 people. I said, what? You mean to tell me I built a network of 8,190 people, I maximize that, and that's more than $500,000 a month? Where do I sign up? And let's get to work. That was my mindset. But not everybody's going to be on level 6, and that's okay. But everybody has the potential to be. You're willing to go to work. Another thing that impressed me is that not only do we contribute back, but so does the company itself. You see, when a person completes level 3, Up2Give is going to give you a debit card so that the user can use to start monetizing the Bitcoin that you've been given through our ecosystem. With this step of philanthropy, we will start to help change the banking crisis in the world where so many people lack the opportunity to own a debit card. Also, we would make the service available for purchase if the user does not wish to wait to receive it for free for a small setup fee. Now, who are we using for this? Just like we partner with STI, Success Training Institute for Education, soft skills training, we also partner with a company called Oohlala for the virtual and physical debit card. Again, I'm not easily impressed, but this company I am impressed with, and I'm going to show it at the end. Now, when a person completes level 4, you will get the option of choosing between 12 different cause-driven programs. Once you have made the choice, you will follow the steps given in your back office, and a liaison will be assigned to you, and you will work together for approximately 45 days to create a story out of that cause, which we will then go viral with it. Up2Give will contribute on your behalf for reaching level 4 a maximum of $1,500 to that cause, fulfilling our social revolution part of our 4 pillars. I love that because one of my causes is going to be my cousin, thinking of my uncle, he just passed away. My cousin, Robert Smith, who was a former NBA basketball player and suffered a massive stroke last year and is on the road to recovery. And those medical bills are piling up. So he's going to be one of my causes. When a person reaches level 5, Up2Give is going to reward you with an all-expense-paid trip to a recognition event where top speakers from around the world are going to come to teach about leadership, philanthropy, finance, personal development, and charitable causes. That first event's going to be in October. I don't know where around the world yet, but I will be there. And when a person reaches level 6, Up2Give requires you to contribute 12.5% back to the community in the ecosystem. Now, this is also very important because another question that people ask is this one of those things where people at the top make all the money and people at the bottom do all the work? Well, first and foremost, what company or industry is that not the case? Does a janitor make more than the CEO? No. Of course the people at the top make more than the people at the bottom. But the second part of that, the people at the bottom are putting in the most and doing all the work. No. If you reach level 6, you put in more work than everybody. Also, you've contributed more than everybody else. But the good thing about this is you're contributing back to the system. Another thing that's impressive, because I asked, how long can something like this last? You know, once somebody reaches level 6, I mean, it's going to run out. They said, no, it's not. I said, how's that possible? They said, because the system resets itself every 30 days. Meaning, no matter what level you are, everybody goes back to ground zero at the beginning of the calendar month, which for us is the 15th of every month. So March 15th, what's that, 14 days from now? 15 days from now, that's the next cutoff period when we start to reset. Now, is that a bad thing? No, because you keep your same organization. You don't have to go out there and recruit 2 new people all over again. No, you have the same team. As long as they stay active, you're going to receive this month exactly what you received last month from the same organization. For those of you that still have your mind stuck on network marketing, think of that like residual income. Everybody goes through the same levels again. and then you can pick up where you left off within a week or so. That means we can last indefinitely. So how does UpToGive strive to be compliant? Well, number one, UpToGive does not touch the Bitcoin of any user. How many times have you seen companies out there that say, give us all your Bitcoin? We're going to mine it, stake it, forex it, arbitrage it on your behalf, and we guarantee you 1% to 2% a day. One, you can't guarantee anything. That's illegal. And 9 times out of 10, the owners run off with everybody's Bitcoin before you have a chance to withdraw it. See, here, UpToGive does not touch the Bitcoin. The giving box does not go to UpToGive. It is peer-to-peer. What does that mean? Have you ever driven or rode in an Uber or a Lyft? That vehicle is not owned by a taxi company. It's owned by somebody else. Have you stayed in an Airbnb? That property is not owned by a hotel chain. It is owned by somebody else, one of your peers. You see, Bitcoin is a financial peer-to-peer system. And why? Why is that so important? Well, number one is decentralized. It is not owned or controlled by a bank, a government, a CEO, or a business. It's open source. Number two, it's universal in value, which means 1 Bitcoin in Japan is worth 1 Bitcoin in Russia, China, anywhere in Europe, United States, South America. It's universal in value. And number three, it's permissionless. What does that mean? It means that you don't need a middleman anymore if you want to move around finances. You can send 1 Bitcoin to anywhere on the globe whenever you want, without permission, without Western Union, without a bank, with small minimum fee, and it happens instantly. That is huge. That is why it's changing the world. The only thing that UpToGive gets is the $32, so you have access to Success Training Institute, and that they can operate as a company. Number two, UpToGive is a major contributor in collective causes. That's level 4. And number three, UpToGive is a giving model that even for nonprofit identities such as churches is presented as a revolution of offerings in the ministry. The more they give each other, the more they receive. So what do you receive for the $32 a month? An entire ecosystem that will allow you to share your story to the entire world through our UpToGive.com blog. And I'm going to show that off in a second. Access to our global education community at the UpToGive Academy. Access to the Giving Box, which allows you to be part of our community blog and social revolution stories that are inspired by the members' philanthropical culture and cause-driven movement. And rewards for giving back to the community and their causes, which allows you to partner with UpToGive and create stories of our own when we start reaching level 4 and above. And that is the presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. What you want to do now is get back to who invited you, and you have 2 choices. The first choice, get yourself signed up. Let's create your cause. Let's get you moving and get ready for March 15th, because a lot's going to happen then. Or number 2, this is not for you, and we understand it's not for everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule on a Saturday to listen to this, but at least do the person who invited you a favor. At least contribute to their cause. At least do that. So you can be a part of the movement without actually joining. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a new opportunity with minimum data. We just got started, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to the end of our first full month. What? Well, can we say that? Well, second cycle, I'll say, put it that way. January 15th to February 15th, I really don't count. To me, that's still pre-launch. But our first full month, February 15th to March 15th, no income claims are allowed. We strive to be compliant. There are no guarantees. And your success depends on you. There's a lot of people out there that want something for free. You have to be willing to go to work. Follow the plan, you'll be successful. Now, I want to switch gears. I'm going to turn on the chat box so that you guys can also participate. Okay, and I'm going to show off some causes. Let's take a look. Can I pull one up that I haven't pulled up in a while? Let's see, I've done Pelvis, Diana, tiny homes, Uganda, providing safe shelter, children, financial literacy, bikers showing love, the Bell Project, special twins with needs. I like that. That one that got me teared when I fought it for the first time. It's Gary's cause, special twins with needs. So when you create your cause, it's going to work. It's going to look like this. You've got your title, you can put up a picture, and then you can describe what your cause is all about. Boy, girl twins born premature. I was born premature. Boy was born having seizures, damage in the speech and motor skills of his brain. Girl was born severely club-footed. Both need lots of specialized care and therapies. It touched me because I had a difficult, when I was growing up as a infant, chronic ear infections, to the point now, on my 40th birthday, I lost 70% hearing in my left ear, and I have to wear a hearing aid, which was traumatic for me at the time because I thought I'm too young for all that. But I understand. Now, you've got two choices at this point when somebody sees this page. Option number one, you can support Gary's cause and join Up to Give. That's option number one. And then when you do that, you're going to be able to create your own cause. Or you got option number two, be a part of Gary's story. So you can contribute to this cause by copying the QR code or the Bitcoin address and then contributing 0.005 Bitcoin without being part of the story. This goes to help out Gary's babies here. Now, I was even diagnosed with a learning disability, auditory processing disorder, so I understand, what they're going through. Anyways, here's something else you can look at. We've got what's called a community tab up here. Click on community. Whoa, this is growing. 27,302 causes and growing. So you can actually take a look at all the causes. I would like to do an apprenticeship in car mechanics. Different languages were worldwide. So you can actually look at all the different causes that's on here. That's implant surgery. Interesting. One goal of mine when I'm completing level 5 and 6 is once a week, I'm going to go through these causes. I don't know if I may pick out randomly maybe 5 causes, or I'm going to do about $500 to $1,000, and I'm just going to contribute to random causes. That's a personal goal of mine that I'm going to do with the Up to Give community. All right, the next thing that I want to be able to do is show off Up to Give Academy. This right here is worth thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. I cannot stress the importance of personal development, self-improvement, soft skills. I've invested 21 years of learning, 6 figures that I've paid total to get to where I am, that they don't teach you in school. And I'm not easily impressed. There's a lot of rink-a-dink programs out there that throw together some whack education that is useless. This is not one of those. This is an accredited system. So somebody that just signs up, and even though they haven't paid anything, they can actually go through the sample courses that we have here. Time management, prospecting, personal development, leadership, team building, professional development, all in audio and video. So here's one thing, like everybody learns differently. Now, I'm a consultant for different crypto education companies, and we make videos, and there's a reason why we do it the way we do it. Like, for example, I said I have auditory processing disorder, which means everything that I hear and see, I don't process like a normal person does. It took me a while to to adapt to that. So I do things a certain way. So we know now there's a lot of people out there, you don't have a lot of time. You're working 1 or 2 jobs, you finally come home, you got to cook dinner for the kids, help them with their homework, try to spend time with your spouse or significant other. You want to relax, watch American Idol or something. See, while you're doing things, you can have this on in the background. And you can pause and stop and go at your own pace. So this is very, very impressive that we have here that is worth far more than the $32 you're paying to access it. And I hope you guys that already have access to it are taking advantage of it. Take full advantage of it. Next, I'm going to show a short video clip of the Ooh La La. This is the company we've partnered with for the banking solution. So take a look at this. And this pulls itself up. All right, now let's actually look at their website. oohlala.io. Again, I'm not easily impressed, but I'm very impressed with what they've put together here, Mr. Garcia. I'll show you the technology behind this. It's got mobile digital wallet, virtual debit card for online purchases, peer-to-peer payments, remittances plus bills, QR code payments, microloans, B2B and B2C mass payments for global NGOs and corporate, credit score buildings, and much, much more. This is awesome here. I can't wait to play with this. And I think we're going to hear more about this on the update on Monday. Speaking of, Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, the same time we started here on this same link, there's going to be an update from corporate that's going to talk about what's going on with the company, where we are, some updated news, and what's going to be happening on March 15th. So let me share what they're allowing me to share. So I got to pull up these notes before, again, I stick my foot in my mouth and say something that I'm not supposed to say. I can't steal the thunder of what's supposed to be shared on Monday. All right, so let's see. First, okay, now that we are certified and we are very big on compliance. And what do I mean by the well, can I say all that? Certification, meaning everything that we're doing, we are being watched and we have to report because we are compliant in the United States, which means that the policing of what we do and say on social media is going to be getting a little strict. The reason why a lot of companies get in trouble is not because of what the company themselves do, but what the members in those companies are saying on social media and misrepresenting. We want to make sure that we have one voice, one message. Everybody is locked in step. You're going to hear about marketing tools and things that you've been waiting to hear that you're going to be able to build upon that I just got briefed on a few days ago. And I'm like, wow, that's exactly what we've been waiting for. So the Facebook, you're going to see a lot more structure to the Facebook group and the social media. Okay, let's see what else here. The Ground Zero was a success. We, as you know, we had enhanced Ground Zero to move to a one community global line. And Sharon, when I'm finished with this, I will upload the video to the groups. So we have been able to successfully pull off Ground Zero global community line, one person after the other. The only thing that did not take place that we thought would happen was that it would be able to display the Ground Zero so you guys can actually see all of the individuals that have fallen after you. But those who participated in it and did everything correctly received their contributions. If you shared it with 2 people, you received 16 contributions. If you shared it with 1 person, you received 4. If you shared with nobody, you received 2. If you're still sitting there now, say, oh, that didn't happen for me, send a message to support so we could take a look at your account. Another thing that I saw that I recognized the last 2 months or so, 95% of people who complained that they paid something and didn't get anything or no contributions. Two reasons for that. Number one, they didn't qualify for what they actually believed they qualified for. And when you sat down and showed them the genealogy and you show them where those contributions are going to come from, they're like, oh, okay. They just didn't understand it. The other group are people who did absolutely nothing because they wanted to wait to see if the company was going to give them 2 free contributions. And first and foremost, the company is not the one giving you 2 free contributions. That's coming from the giving box for those people who hit level 6. Well, if we don't have anybody that's on level 6, where is it going to come from? To me, that's common sense. But to other people out there, you know how people are. So Ground Zero was a success. Okay, and then what am I allowed to say here? When March 15th hits, this is where those of you who have been here from the beginning, the founders' positions, the spillover and all that stuff, what is the advantage of being a founder that you guys paid that $90 or so for? What is the advantage? The advantage of being the founder was that you were in before everybody else. Remember, we had 2,000 founders, and then we had those that signed up after. All I am allowed to say right now, and I will, after Monday's announcements, I will be speaking on this in detail. In fact, I'll be doing Facebook Lives in our communities, in our groups. I'll be talking about this in detail. But it is very important that if you're a founder or you have members on your team that have founding positions and a lot of people that might have fell off, it's important that they get themselves active before the 15th of March. That's all I am allowed to publicly share compliantly right now. I want to say a whole lot more. And I have, and I got shut down. So I can't, I gotta follow compliance, what the company is saying, because we don't say anything without the approval. I also will say this, because I have people that ask me, Brandon, aren't you concerned about the people who feel that, the company didn't do what they say they were going to do and they fell off? Absolutely not. I'm not concerned at all. I'm a professional. I'm a 7-figure earner. I'm a business owner. I know what it takes to launch a business. I know what it means to be in pre-launch. I know that nothing goes 100% according to plan. Therefore, you know that old saying, success leaves clues? I know how to adapt, move forward, and work with what I have and help to make it a better opportunity and experience for the most amount of people. Whereas others will complain about it all day and they'll quit and go and do something else. And that's their prerogative. But if you've ever been an athlete before, Like if you were going to try out, I remember in high school, tried out for the basketball team, and there's only 15 spots, and you've got 60 people trying out for the team, or 200 people. How do the coaches start cutting people? Well, on day one, we never touch a basketball. All we do is run. And the people that are tired of running quit. That cuts half of them down right then. And then they continue to do the drills. They continue to throw adversity your way. And that wipes out more people. Some people that have the most talent quit. They didn't have the work ethic. They didn't have the mindset. They quit. As soon as adversity hit, they were gone. And then once the last day of cuts and rounds happened, the first thing the coach said to us that made it, said, all right, now that we got rid of the flakes, I know who I can go to war with. I know who's going to be in the trenches with me. I know how we can build this program. It's the same thing in business. The adversities that Up to Give went through in December and January to make the necessary adjustments needed once it was already called pre-launch, and I said December 1st, I guarantee you there's going to be glitches, there's going to be enhancements and improvements. Doesn't matter to some people. They're gone. Those of you who are here, what's on this line? 59, 60 people? I know we can go in the trenches with now. Now that we've got everything where we want it to be, we've tested the system, we see what works, what doesn't work, we make the necessary enhancements. You guys are going to be the ones to benefit the most. And you guys are the ones that I want to spend my time with because you went through the trenches with me. You've had the patience. You went through the barriers. Now let's start to reap the rewards. That's what's going to take place. But you still have an opportunity for those that were the kind of the flakers. I'll stick my toe in the water and I'll see if this thing works and blah, blah, blah. Those people should have waited till maybe the summertime. And they will end up coming back eventually, but they're not going to be in the same position that you're in right now. They lost that. But there is still time for everybody. There is still time. March 15th. What I will not do is convince anybody. I'm just letting them know this is what's taking place. Some adjustments are being made. You might want to pay attention. If not, there's nothing else I can do for you. And more, let me look at the chat box here. Okay, Sharon asked about the recording. I'm going to get that up. Can you share the link for Monday's corporate call? It's this link right here. The Monday call is the same link you guys logged in to be here at the same time. What are we allowed to post on social media? What we've been posting so far. You're not allowed to post your cause yet. But you can talk about the causes. You can talk about what we're doing. Don't talk about how would you like to make 64 Bitcoin. But you're going to hear updates as far as the marketing and that stuff on Monday. How hard work beats talent. Yep. Seems like if a person signed up one person, they would get 8 contributions. If they sign up 2 people, they would get 16. How many was it for one person? One person, you get 4 contributions. You want to know why? Because we're guaranteeing that somebody that signs up nobody is still getting 2 contributions. Where is those 2 contributions coming from? If there's nobody on level 6, it's coming from us. Again, we had to make the necessary adjustments so that everybody, we keep to what we said from day one, that nobody's left behind, that everybody will get something. So that was the compromise we had to do. Will it stay that way in the future? I don't know. I mean, once we've got a whole bunch of people on level 6, Ground Zero might be subject to change. But for right now, with what we're working with, the math is the math to make it work. So what is my suggestion? Get your 2 people. That's what your focus should be on. Your focus should be on getting 2 people and helping them to do the same thing. Focus on getting your 2 people. I predict, or I expect, because I know how the numbers are, if we had 2,000, I think it was more than that, 2,500 founding members, and then 9,000 or so that had signed up before December, or by middle of December, probably 60% of those people are going to be gone by March 15th. Then they're going to kick themselves later. And a lot of them are the same type of people that need convincing. A lot of them didn't understand the program. They didn't plug in the right way. One thing went wrong and they bailed. They didn't understand the concept of pre-launch. And that's okay. That's okay. You can take 60 people and turn those 60 to 1 million by the end of the year, especially with what we're going to be working with. It's okay. Let them go. So, all right, let me see. Let me move to the notes again. Was there anything that I missed that they're saying I can say? Okay, Ground Zero. Tools that will blow your mind and help each person build the business they, oh yeah. Oh yeah, again, part of the marketing. We're going to have tools. I'm just going to say exactly the way it was said to me. Tools that will blow your mind and help each person build the business they have been wanting to build. That goes towards those that need help with finding 2 people. They got a solution for that. Let's see, Facebook, yeah, we got that. Your founder position is about to pay off heavily. Make sure you're active, yep. Ground Zero Linear has proven to be a huge success, yep. That's it, Brandon, that's all you can say. Okay. So next week, I'll say a whole lot more. I'll take whatever is shared on Monday and I'll simplify it and I'll break it down, and then the race is on. The race is on at that point. All right. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming up on the top of the hour. This was recorded, so I will put this recording up in the chat, in the Facebook group. I am nervous about something. It's telling me that it's recorded. But for whatever reason, one of the calls I did the other day, I don't know if it was Thursday or Wednesday, I recorded it and then I opened it up and it wasn't there. Okay, so I hope that doesn't happen here. Anyways, thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule this Saturday to be here. I'm doing another presentation tonight. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And I will not be as detailed as this. It will be between 20 to 25 minutes long. I will be doing another presentation tomorrow night, 20 to 25 minutes long. And then we get ready to hear the updates on Monday. And then after that, I'm going to be going back to the twice a week schedule. You know, the next presentation after tomorrow night will be on Thursday, twice on Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Pacific, and then twice on Saturday. And when March 15th rolls around, I'm probably 90% sure I'm going to go back to doing it every single day again because of what's happening and what's being announced, what's rolled out, and we're going to be going on explosion mode. Why? Here's why. For those of you that understand Bitcoin, here's why. Here's why I am not losing focus. 72 days left between the next Bitcoin halving to take place. We are in accumulation mode right now. The goal is to accumulate as much crypto as humanly possible in the next 72 days. And so if that is my goal, and I look around out there and see what opportunity is going to allow me to accumulate the most amount of coins as possible in the shortest amount of time and I get hit up with everything. There's only one company that's going to allow to do what the goal I have of maxing out level 6 and receiving more than $500,000 a month in Bitcoin. There's only one. That's Up to Give. Up to Give. If we were able to sign up 27,000 members in Up to Give in 2.5 months, do you mean to tell me as a team we can't get to 10,000? I'm just saying. Where's your focus? Is it on that, or I didn't get a $6 contribution? They're lying and scamming me. Really? That's where your focus is on? I'm looking for the runners. And then I'm going to say something again next week, too, after this is all revealed, that it gets me excited. It makes me a little bit more motivated. Let's put it that way. It makes me motivated to make sure you all can be as successful as possible. That's all I can say on that. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I'll see you tonight. Everybody needs to remain compliant as well. God bless. Bye-bye.